Always with the scuff. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lore Lines, episode 138. Hello! Always. That's how it goes. Don't you know? Okay. It was funny just seeing them all.
Am I broadcasting?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
All right. Let's start that again. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 138 of Lore Lines. We took last week off because we were in the waiting room for the live letter that aired on Friday, and we're very, very excited to talk about this trailer. But in the meantime, what's everyone been up to in the past couple of weeks? Meowth.
Me?
Yes, we're starting with you because you're not ready.
Aside from more researching stuff as usual, keep working on the big project. You know what we're doing, and I only have five more things to get sorted, and then we can talk about releasing that.
Okay.
But I'm almost there.
Okay. Ayumi, how have you been?
Well, I got promoted at work, so I've been doing stuff for that.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks. Other than that, Monster Hunter Wild has taken over my life, so I haven't been playing Final Fantasy recently, so it's just... Yeah.
You got a tornado the other day, like yesterday or something.
So Mother Nature decided to throw a tornado outbreak over the course of the weekend at me. So that was fun.
It sounds fun.
And I think over the eastern seaboard of the US too. Because Midwest got it Friday. No, Saturday, I think. Saturday. Yes, Saturday. And then today it was the South's turn.
Yep. Yeah, it was pretty windy. We didn't get any tornadoes down here, but yeah, felt that. Aeneas, how about you? Also, congratulations on getting promoted.
Thanks.
Oh, I've also been busy with work stuff. Final Fantasy wise, cleared through. I am free of that now after some very, very cursed prog. Got my fancy weapon and everything.
First.
Yeah. We don't need to go into that, though. And I think in the time that I was last on, I've launched my lore site now. I have, like, a personal publication for stuff. So finally compiling over 4 years of notes at this point into something cohesive. Cobb, I know you had fun deep diving onto one of those articles already.
Yes, I did. It was great.
And that's also where here's the singular, not the singular, it's going to come up. FF11 plug for the episode is I have updated my installation guide for 2025.
Nice.
So it's now readily available. It is easier than ever to use and install, and the FF11 servers actually just got like a hardware upgrade a few days ago, so the game is running really well now. Everything is loading super fast. It feels great.
If you have not played 11, it's worth your time. I would say. I remember playing it when it came out. It wasn't my thing, but now going back and playing it, there's a certain like cadence to it that's really relaxing.
Yeah, it's a chill game.
Yeah.
Also relevant for FF14 lore. So
yes, for sure.
It's out of my system. I will try not to bring it up again.
So, one question real quick. AC Gears and Arms wants to know if any of us are into funk. Like the music, I'm assuming.
I mean, I listen to a bit of everything.
Yeah. Like, it's not something I seek out, but yeah.
No, I don't seek out, but if I find something that my ears like, then that's basically my criteria.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at too. But
Also, one thing: if you guys hear explosions from my microphone, it's just down the street. It's holiday.
We've done this every year for the past.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah, but not everyone has been here for all that time that you guys know me. So I just so you guys don't
I
freak out.
appreciate the
It's
clarification.
Yeah, it's
Thank
your
you,
annual
Meowth.
war on the sky. We got it.
I'm fire. I'm setting things on fire.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we had it here, people would be less angry.
I love European holidays. Annual war against the sky. That's what we're calling it now.
It's our way to celebrate spring. We burn things down. We make
But like I said,
You
less
got to make
angry.
room for the new growth. It makes sense.
The rite of spring.
Yep.
Yeah, it's basically we burn down things that we don't like from the year in monument form, and it's meant to the new year to rise from the ashes, completely new. So yeah, we're kind of familiar with the phoenix here.
So Aka the cat brings up a good point in chat. Make sure that you don't get your notes burned because we need those.
No. Unless you burn me down, which because most of it's in my brain, I don't know how it hasn't exploded yet. But unless it's exploded and I haven't realized.
It very well may have. So this week, as part of the live letter, since it's the second live letter and we're less than 2 weeks out from 7.2, a trailer dropped. And I know, Meowth, you have not watched the trailer yet. I've seen it once.
I know the dialogue in French and German, thanks to Ellie, but I haven't watched it in English.
Okay.
Or watched it at all.
Ayumi and Naeus, have you seen the trailer yet?
Yes.
I've watched it in Japanese and in English. I've picked out a few things in Japanese, but I haven't there hasn't been anything monumental in terms of comparing the two. It's quite literally a
Nuances.
here and there things.
Okay. All right. Well, we are going to watch it on stream today. I'm going to go ahead and move over and pull it up. So we have it here. I just want to be sure that there's audio on it and then it's running.
Usually Japanese and English, there isn't too much of oh, I didn't know that, or oh, this is special.
Well,
it's other languages. It's French and it's German that we're oh, because that's how we got spoiled on Eden E8.
That's also how we got, they use different quotes for the Dawn Trail trailer proper.
Yes.
From 11 pieced together to a whole speech. I knew it was going to come up again, and it's going to come up during the trailer.
Yeah.
And just recently now.
Keep in mind, for the trailers for 14, they are very good at misdirection. So the dialogue and what is on screen almost never correlate. And they are very, very good at doing that. So they're
so much fun, though.
Yes. A new Dawn trailer.
Quick question, Cobb. Will it brick things if you also stream it to Discord for simultaneous? If not, I'll just hide the...
Probably.
I'll just pull it up on YouTube. Don't worry. Okay. I just want to check.
Okay.
Because I'll hit play at the same time just to make sure I'm not, borking my own audio.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I am going to... Let's see... You know what? I know how to make sure this works.
I have mine pulled up, so don't worry about it.
All right. Here we go. This is a patch called Seekers of Eternity. And we're going to go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1.
Since time immemorial, life has used death to facilitate adaptation in an ever-changing environment.
A little soft on the audio.
The old and infirm are weeded out, allowing the species to thrive. Generational succession.
There are beasts ahead of you. They must have gotten in and made themselves at home. I'm detecting something. You'll have to deal with it to continue on. Even during the war, the people labored to maintain the castle. It meant a lot to them.
We obtain more precise measurements. Narrow the range of variables to avoid unnecessary trial and error. That is the most expeditious course of action. will do. We have enough to proceed with an analysis.
Died? Whatever do you mean?
We ask that all recipients equip their regulators and promptly complete device registration.
Ultimately, what you think is immaterial, for the seeds we've sown have already quickened.
I will show you the soul of a royal knight!
The people have glimpsed hope in transcending death, and they can ill turn away from it.
The evolution of our kind is at hand. Together we shall rise above death and bask in the infinite possibilities of eternal life.
We have important business with you. We left something in your keeping, the key to interdimensional fusion. You will kindly return it to us, yes?
I need that twink obliterated so badly.
Waiting for me out to shriek.
So,
I mean, Shriek. I was telling Cov prior to live stream. I've been saying this was going to be the theme since June, and no one was actually listening to me. So it's like, this is just, to me, it's just confirmation. It's just that right now now it's there for all to see. And the thing that's actually interesting to me in the trailer, just preliminary speaking, is that we're shown Asim's crystal being used again, and that's exactly to what the Grail reacted. So maybe that's another instance in which we're going to be poking into that. But I guess that's my first reaction to it all, basically.
see, my reaction to Asim's key is like we use that key to like summon ketchup, like at every possible conceivable reason.
I mean, and we know that because we know we do have the trial with the Beatrix bot. So naturally, but the fact that there's a focus on that when we're kind of relatively used to use that crystal, and coming from 7.0 by the end, in which it's precisely using the crystal what triggers the Grail to react with Asim symbol. That's what's interesting me, the fact that they are focusing on it. Mm-hmm. Maybe it doesn't mean anything, but considering that they are bringing the Grail back to the meat of the story, I would say that's...
You will bring the key back to us, yes?
Yeah, I love that line. So as usual, we're gonna go through the trailer frame by frame and talk about what we see and what we hear.
There was a lot of Occult Crescent, to be honest.
A lot of Occult Crescent, which I was happy to see because that means there's a lot they don't want to spoil for us in MSQ.
No, there's a few things I want to talk about the Occult Crescent with, and we'll get to that. Yes. I've already said it in the Discord, but we'll say it on stream too.
Yeah,
we had the same thought. I was like, they're showing a lot of the side content because they don't want us to see much of MSQ.
MSQ, we've oversaturated MSQ. We know our thoughts on MSQ, but we didn't know much about the Occult Crescent until we saw things pop up in live letters, and then finally the trailer. Let's get into this, though.
Yeah. So we there's a lot of stuff in Occult Crescent to talk about. So I'm actually gonna mute it. I turned on subtitles. Hopefully it'll generate with, quarter speed.
Right.
So I'm gonna start right here. With this, of course.
Right there, please. Thank you.
Nim. I love Nemean architecture.
Yes, so do I.
I do love Nim.
Yeah.
Because we thought they were kind of contained and were obliterated, actually.
Yep.
When they were... So, let's go back to how the Sixth Umbral Calamity happened. So, Nim were a bunch of explorers and scholars, right?
In a maritime nation.
In a maritime nation. As for how far they traveled or left, it's up to debate, but when Mach and the Black Mages came and launched Batoso on their civilization and turned them into Tonberries, the only way to stop the plague from spreading was to contain them within the Wanderer's Palace, which is why you see so many Tonberries in the Wanderer's Palace and not outside.
Also worth noting, since we're on this, at a later point in the live letter, we do hear some of the music from the Occult Crescent, and they are reusing themes from these dungeons. It is coming up pretty aggressively.
So my question is, who all survived the attack from Mach, traveled across the Indigo Deep, and eventually settled here?
Yeah.
That's a crazy thing to do. Also, continue, because there's more.
So I have a theory about this.
There's more. Is there? I've
Right
heard
here.
people mention that there's Amdapori also. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Mach.
That is 100% Mach.
They pursue them.
Not only the pyramid, but the housing is from
the
the
structure that's from the
it's from the
Dunscaith.
Dunscaith, exactly. That's what the Mahaki architecture looked like.
Did they use the Void Ark to pursue them, and to what ends? Why? Why did they pursue them across the Indigo Deep? They could have just let them go.
Here's my thought. Go ahead and finish yours.
So, after they defeated and obliterated pretty much Nim, they focused their energies on the mages of Amdapor, the White Mages of Amdapor, because that was their biggest adversary, because they, no matter what, they could not defeat them. When they launched Diabolos against the White Mages, it didn't work. Diabolos was sealed within Amdapor.
Yep. And AC Gears and Arms brings up a great point, that the condition of these structures seems unnatural in that there doesn't seem to be enough wear and tear for having been here for, several thousand years.
And there's
we
also
see
the
Void
fact
Scent
that
in the
they're
trailer.
They're
tower,
put together.
The tower in the front
mean,
we've actually seen before from Weeping City. So that is also Mahaki.
I also want to point out the real world inspiration, because we know that the Occult Crescent, they were like, okay, what if we did something that was like the Bermuda Triangle, where weird shit happens?
Yep.
And of course, we have the benefit of historical hindsight that it's treacherous waters, and that's just a very likely place for ships to disappear, right?
Yeah.
It's the survivor bias. No, that's not what it's called. The diagram with the airplane of, like, this is where we need to reinforce, but that's not where you want to do it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to point out that this is a convergence of eras. In pristine condition, almost like it's a snapshot in time. So this could not... there is a possibility that this isn't just, everyone converging here, but rather a variation of things, for whatever reason. Could be a random Amarot situation, or it could be that all of these people were here. In which case, it does become a question of why. But there is an air of mystery around this area that I think we're looking at a situation where we have to look into the ether physics of it all, which I'm excited about. I want to dig my teeth.
So
if it is a moment in time, it also kind of makes sense visually, because the places are out with bubbles, and a concept of a bubble is basically of conservation. It's almost like preservation, if you want to go with themes for the expansion. So this being the War of the Magi, I wonder if at some point some magic fuckery happened, and it snapped fragments of nations, because I have heard people say that there's also Amdapori ruins in this whole thing as well. So maybe something plucked bits or moments of all three nations, some spell going highwire or something like that, and put them in here, and that's really interesting.
Yeah,
but it's the concept of being something stuck in this bubble.
I would actively rail against the idea that these civilizations cross the Indigo Deep. I think it would be much more likely that we have an Isle of Val situation where the island actually moved. And due to the rejoinings, it shifted position based on, the etheric density of the world. So during the Fifth Era, it's entirely possible that this island was located off the coast of Aldenard, and therefore really close to all these other civilizations. And so either they migrated there or tried to, and then everybody died, similar to Isle of Val, or we have a kind of plucked out of time type of manifestation where it's just a reflection of what used to be. I don't know, but I don't think that this was an active attempt to colonize this island, if that makes any sense.
No,
in the Fifth
but
Era.
I have another thought based on right now. I'm thinking of the themes of Dawntrail. One of them is cooperation between different peoples and harmony, and also another bit of it is the most crucial one is that fabricated or rewritten or omitted history, right? So I'm wondering if this that we're seeing here is not maybe of course, but maybe not so much that it's like the result of some time of translocation fucker, which can be, of course, but maybe this is a moment in time in which all three nations of mages may have coexisted pacifically, and this is somehow been erased.
I
It's
think
just a
this is
possibility.
all.
It's just,
This is just this reeks to me of the War of the Magi, just kind of like a more War of the Magi type area, and we're going to explore more of it. The last time we kind of went down that memory lane was during the Red Mage quests in Stormblood,
yes.
And the Ziggurats. And so I don't quite agree with the atherophysics of it. I think this literally just is a lost colony that's traversed the ocean and tried to escape and settled here, and people got shipwrecked here, were never seen again. That's due to the Maquis influence. So
I think the point that we're getting at here is it's unlikely that all of this was like an intentional migration thing. And there's any number of explanations for it. And this is just one of those things where we are excited to see things that we recognize and learn more about them when patched up.
Yes, I'm excited to learn more about the Fifth Era, because we know a lot, but there's still a lot we don't know about it. What I would like to see is kind of along the lines of what Yumi said. This is a place that draws ships in, and they were wrecked there. And then we have these three civilizations that are their nations are all at war, but we have these stranded survivors that all had their own civilizations that had to work together to survive, but ultimately didn't.
Right.
And so in this
because there's Amdapori golems inside that we've seen.
So like in this one spot, the War of the Magi did not happen. And I like that idea.
Conversely, oh, go ahead, Nyath.
It was just a comment that one of the most crucial aspects of the Fifth Era and the War of the Magi is that it ended with the water rejoining, which caused the flood. And we are now in basically the recap Shadowbringers expansion. So bringing up the flood in regards to a nation of mages working together, if that's it, what it is. In any case, this civilization of mages at least being put in one place, it's inevitably going to make me think of Amarut, because Amarut is as well flooded. So I wonder if this is the theme they're going for. I mean, Shades Triangle and all that. We're being basically thinking of Shades Triangle related to the ruins of Amarut. It may not be, or maybe it's just a reference. But it's just ideas that when it comes to themes, it's made me think of all of this. But anyways, maybe it's nothing. But
Another fun thing, just narratively, would be peoples who are at war being forced to coexist for survival, because that is
Right.
something that we've seen a
Right.
lot in game as well.
Agreed.
What would
And
shock me would be seeing a Tonberry here.
yeah, critically
How did it get here?
lore-wise. So yeah, lots to speculate on. Not much that we can say other than, hey, we recognize these things right now. So we'll have to get
The
there.
theme that they're playing in the background is the battle theme. The battle theme 1 from Final Fantasy V.
Yep. Later on, yes. Not here, but yes, later on.
Not here, but yes, later on. I actually said it in chat earlier.
And
Uh,
AC,
as for-
the recreated Amarot that Emmett Selk made was flooded before we used
I mean,
Bismarck's breath.
the definition of flood. I mean, it's it depends, because I have my theories on what really happened with the Sundering. But regardless, thematically speaking, and by the end of it, Amarut is flooded. It's buried beneath the sea. So,
Yeah,
you know,
we know
the
it
theme
sinks
of
at some point.
Water. No. This, and we don't know how. We just know that somehow the ruins of Amarut ended up beneath the waves.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting thing for me, as burying something beneath the waves tends to be a really even more effective way of burying a memory than it is burying it beneath the earth. Because with the earth you can just excavate and find it, but the waves, because we can breathe underwater and there's the present, it's much more difficult to find something beneath the waves. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyways.
But just for context, the Bermuda Triangle in real life, over 50 ships and 20 airplanes have disappeared in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and there's take it as you believe it or not. This is testimonies of people that have experienced phenomena of, believe it or not. I'm neutral about these things. Have experienced time dilation and wormholes phenomena in there. And there's people who say that it's caused because the ruins of the Atlantis are beneath it. But take it as you will. It's just that if they wanted to go for a fantasy setting, those inspirations and all that stuff, it's there,
Yeah.
regardless of or if it's true or not.
right. Yeah, I like that, you know, you type in Bermuda Triangle into Google, it's like, what creatures are in the Bermuda Triangle? It's like birds, dolphins, fishes.
Yeah, well, the fun part of it is that it is a mystery, and it's a lot of Occult Crescent is like, oh yeah, there's unexplained things here. I love that they're setting it up in a way that, like, yeah, people go missing here. I wonder what happens to them, because
Yeah.
the interpretation differs across like fantastical settings. Like you look at Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's a place where the undead rise, or you talk about, oh yeah, this is where they hide sea creatures. This is where, like, God is angry with you. Like, there's any manner of explanation.
Right.
But people come here and aren't seen again. And some of those interpretations end up with there being civilizations. So it'll be fun to see how this goes through. And also, we're all lore people here. Excited to see these places again and learn more about them retroactively.
Very
So
excited.
that's
Yeah.
never going to complain about that.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Continue on here. So this is the company that makes the game.
Discuss.
Yeah, discuss. This more Cold Crescent, I'm assuming.
That's Andapuri.
Yeah, very Andapuri.
That's Andapuri.
Damn,
100%. Which I'm excited for, and I'm really glad now, Ayumi, that we never made that 5th era video, because now we're gonna have so much more to add to it.
You already have to redo the 13 things.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. So I like this. It's probably since time immemorial. It's probably going to be another expedition type scenario similar to how we had with Isle of Val and Eureka.
It's so fucking Andapori, really. It is so like the Sanctum of the 12, in fact, which is
So
Andapori.
we have blue-footed boobies here.
Important boobies in the trailer.
Yeah. And I wonder if this is going to be a minion. And if you look at them, they look utterly
already a minion.
deranged, just like they do in real life. And I'm really happy about that.
Cobb, it's already a minion.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
it's been a minion. It was the one from Fisher Retainers last expansion that was incredibly difficult to get. That's why
Okay.
a lot of people were excited. Like, A, they got to say there was boobies in the trailer, but
Yeah.
B, this is a rare minion from Fisher Retainer.
Right. So here we
It
are,
reminds me of,
Utter-
of someone, but I can't actually...
utterly
Anyways.
deranged. These birds are insane.
I think it... Well, they remind me of the seagulls from Finding Nemo, but...
Yeah, no,
bird.
those are just straight up seagulls.
Hey, it's really fun that we get to go expeditioning with.
With Ket and Ram.
With Catamaran.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is like opening a storybook and stepping into it. I'm excited that we get to spend time with him on this,
Mhm.
just for the sake of like you are stepping into this like historical part. I love
Right.
it. I'm excited about this
So-
aspect specifically.
I
It's like going exploring with Christopher Columbus, which is like...
No,
no,
very
that's
different.
a terrible
Very
example.
different. Yeah, the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
Actually.
So there seems to be fog rolling in here. And I don't know if that's the trailer or if that's going to be, you go into a fog bank and you come out at the Occult Crescent, kind of like Avalon, which would be
Yeah.
really interesting.
Or
I do
they
get
did something similar
No.
with Siren Song.
Yeah,
Hmm.
more Nemean architecture,
Sorry, say that for me again.
more Nemean
Okay.
architecture.
Nemianin?
Nemean, and yeah. I haven't decided how to pronounce it yet.
Nemayan.
Yeah.
Nimiana Jones.
So the voice over here is talking about natural selection. The issue, of course, being when you try and take control over that, then you have eugenics.
Yeah, pretty much.
Looking at you and Walker.
I heard Ket and Ram.
Yep.
You know what I know about him? He's a government plant. He's here to. He's
What?
No,
a-
get off it.
he's not here to lead us to our dooms.
That Aetherite did look interesting.
Because that's something that I will always drive the point, and it's one of the fallacies that annoy me the most of Endwalker, and this seems to be picking up, which is the ancients were unworthy of being stewards of the star because they didn't survive the final days. First, they did survive the final days, and and their fall was caused by the Sun and by Hydaelyn. Second, it was something that it was imposed on them by several forces, so it's not as if there was their time to be extinct. So this whole thing of Endwalker and the supposed, lessons, quote unquote, is just a big massive cost eugenics. So
Okay. That's kind of off topic.
that's my 2 cents on that.
So yeah,
Owen.
I do want to draw attention to this shot here. One, I love this moon mount. I know it's been out for a while, but I still love it. But this structure in the back here,
The DreamWorks mount.
yeah, the DreamWorks mount, exactly. This structure in the back here doesn't resemble any of the big three from the 5th era that I can tell.
The logo is blocking my fucking
Kind of, but for me, it looks like stone
Intentionally,
structure and ramparts. So the closest would be maybe Maha, but Maha uses a lot of wood in their architecture as well, and steel. A straight, stone castle would...
That would be Nim. Nim?
Yeah.
No.
Uh-uh.
Nim or Amdapor.
Maybe. Amdapor would be the
That can-
closest.
Consider also if we have all of these things in here too. There could be something older or something newer as well.
Yeah.
So that's something that we're just gonna have to spend time
I see this, and I think
fusion.
first era, the first Astral era, when I see this, because that was more like Bronze Age castles and medieval.
Are we going to go that far? I mean, it could.
We might. I don't know. I don't know. This place.
That's just pure speculation because we can't see
Right,
it that
right.
well
Exactly.
at this point. So don't
That's
worry
a
about it
big
too much.
reach, Cobb, but I'll
It
I'll-
is, but I
to the
think it
side
would
for
be.
now.
I think it would be interesting if this island gathered up pieces of civilizations throughout history since the Sundering.
Well, if we want to talk about that, can we talk about how the creatures that you see with spectral currents are in the forefront of this shot as well?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, just want to... I don't know what to do with that information, but these are the creatures that you would see with that if you did the, I believe it's the Endwalker Studium stuff
Mm-hmm.
for fishing.
Yep.
Yep. Nothing to do with this information, just pointing it out.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that's odd. Okay.
It's very specific. We'll
Yeah.
see where that goes. Maybe
Also-
related. Who knows?
Can I just say I'm excited? I'm excited for the possible return of the Brachiosaur.
Life finds a way.
Life. There's gonna be a quest called that. Just watch Ayumi.
Could you imagine an expansion base? A side content based on Jurassic Park.
Oh my god.
I mean, yes.
All right, listen.
I think we're about to get it.
Our quest giver is going to be either called Richard Hammond or
My
Dr. Grant.
fucking god!
Oh,
It's a
God.
dinosaur. Jesus Christ!
So-
what
Silence.
This is 1000% Amdapori architecture here.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Andapori, yeah.
Well,
That's
I don't
Andapor
know.
Keep. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, because that's a void scent. That's a stone gargoyle.
Have you played?
Which
Andapor
were
Keep?
also
They
in
have,
Amdapori Keep.
they have statues of those in
Void-
Andapor Keep.
Yes. But they
So-
also have that in Mach as well.
Mm-hmm. This, I think, is just the teleportation crystal in part of the Occult Crescent raid.
Yeah.
The lamp, I will say, the lamp there, I wouldn't bet on that, but it looks Beladian, and
That would be interesting. I would like to see that. This platform does look Amdapori. This does not on the wall.
Nope.
yeah.
So, again,
I mean,
there's
Beladian tends to use blue crystal, but the sign reminds me so much of Beladian sign. But anyways, this could be a mix of many
and I would love to
ancient
see that.
civilizations. So.
I would love to see that where they just kind of bleed into each other. Again, Amdapori. We get the demon wall with, friends. This one's interesting though because it spins and it knocks people off. I'm excited for this.
The colors are interesting, by the way.
Imagine, like, this is on a bridge that's critical to get from point A to point B for something, and you don't want to do the fate, but you walk into it and you just get spun around.
That would be amazing.
Like, either it accelerates you past it or it knocks you back or off, and you're like, really?
Yep.
Really? I was just trying to...
There's the lion.
Yeah, there's the lion with Hraesvalger's head.
Yeah, it's like this boss is like a mix of Hraesvalger as a chimera, and the final boss of Scala.
Yeah.
Note the single glowing eye on this as well, by the way.
Yep.
Either a mechanical indicator or a design aspect. We won't know until we see it stagnant.
Yeah.
If this place gives me answers about Scala, I'm going to scream. That will make me scream. I've
from
been
the
wanting
Astro Spell.
answers about Scala since fucking Stormblood.
Well, we were talking about this being the era of the flood, right?
Yeah.
Since the associated calamity. It is the drowned city of Scala.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm honestly, you know what? I'm in game right now. Keep playing the trailer. I'm gonna go swim around and see if some of the architecture that we don't recognize is from the part of the Scala dungeons that we don't see because it's
the architecture I saw that I pointed out that said might be first era actually matches Scala.
Okay. All right.
So
keep going then.
Yeah, we'll keep going. A lot of Amdapor here though.
I love it.
Yeah, because Scala is very stone with ramparts and very, very geometrical, whereas Amdapori is very curved architecture that's made of stone.
The problem with the Scala is that you go down into the depths of the logs, and it's so covered in salt, so you can really make out, distinguish the shapes and proper structure of the buildings. But yeah, if it's Scala, then I'm going to scream.
This looks like so much
feel
fun.
like is going. This looks like fun, but I want to point out like the linear structure of this.
Mm-hmm.
This is most likely from whichever 48-man dungeon is the quote-unquote pinnacle of the area. Just the layout of it, I can't see this being an overworld thing.
No.
It's too wide to be a
No,
fake area.
so
Plus you close
the
area
mist
as well.
here is reminiscent of the lowest floors of Amdapor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, but it's all the stuff in the background too. Like you can see crystalline structures creeping out over stuff.
Yep.
They're using the same effects as in Cartano, but the way that it's set up, like it's growing, fun, funky. Can't wait to dive in. I look forward to it.
Looks a lot like salt again. More salt.
Yeah, I could see it, but
given brain worms.
I
I'm sorry,
want-
but also not. I'm not sorry, actually.
Because there are structures coming out of the mist there, I wonder if we'll get an explanation as to why that is and why Amdapor has the same thing as what that is.
Right.
Why there is no bottom.
Yeah,
And
these
Palace
are
of the Dead.
massive structures.
Because Palace of the Dead is this one thing that also shares with the Orban Monastery, the Necro Hall of Mulonde, that you're supposed to go deeper, but the deeper you go, the brighter it is.
Mm-hmm. So I would point out that there's a wall here, so you probably have to either kill all of these creatures or something before this fire catches up to you and kills you.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a DPS race, and I'm very, very excited for it.
Looks frantic though.
Yeah, that's what I want.
This feels like a bit of Amdapori and Maki, because this is almost like Weeping City. These are Weeping City enemies.
The enemy
terms-
types are specific here because they're all of the like classically undead classification.
Right.
And then
Do you know another civilization that we might get? Because I was looking at that bridge, and the structure was making me think of what was once a trial, now it's an instance, the Steps of Faith.
Yeah.
What if we get Avalonia?
Oh my god. I don't think that's old enough, and I haven't seen any evidence, but this is a perfect shot here. So here we have Nimian architecture that we're actually on, but in the back, that's Amdapori on the upper right, up here. But this is another one entirely, because this is the geometrical blocks. So here we're seeing three different civilizations in one shot.
Fuck, the only place I've seen a vault like that, like this sort of structure, is in the ruins of the cathedral in Azizla, which are Mercidian. The three people that worship Sephiroth.
Okay.
Sephiroth, sorry.
That's
the only one I can think. That's the only one I can think,
Ja.
because
That would be amazing.
I also want to
mean-
point out the dome up at top is also something traditionally Scalic as well.
Okay. So maybe this might be Scalic then. But
maybe
this-
the Scalic.
Good mix. It's
Yeah.
a good mix. It's gonna be so good. I'm just gonna spend so much time in the overworld.
Oh my god, yeah.
Really, really looking forward to this.
Here we have Turbojet Dragon with
Yeah.
a collar, no less. Very Titania. So is this
Yeah.
is this an Allegan weapon?
More Alligans.
Yeah.
I mean,
At this stage, are you surprised?
the thing is, it doesn't resemble something that Alligans would make, maybe post-Allagan research as a
Yep.
foundation. I will say, yellow paint in a video game. Maybe this is one of those things where, because we've had a few like combat instances like this where like the Rathalos, where one person has to get on and subdue him.
Right.
I would love a situation where this is a huge battle and you need like 3 people on each wing in order to keep them down
Oh, that would be
during like a
fantastic.
Cerberus style period
Mhm.
where the collar breaks and then has to be put back on.
My thing is, if this was Allegan, I don't think it would be a solid collar like this. It would look more like Titania's collar. I think they would just reuse
Yeah,
that
everything
asset.
is
Yeah,
too
look
rounded
different.
as well. If you look at
Exactly.
the way that they inset the
Yeah,
crystals,
this
it's a
right
little bit
here.
too clean. It's too rounded. It's
Yeah.
not
This-
harsh enough.
Doesn't really fit Alag. However, the depths of the Eureka Orthos maybe, but
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it could be post-Allegan tech.
Yeah.
This just looks fucking silly. Look at the statue.
Yeah, this guy right here. But
This is something for Raiders to be excited
This-
about.
here we have this same lamp patterns on the wall and a door. I have not seen a rounded door like this before. And correct me if
This
I'm
is
wrong.
also retired tech.
Yeah.
No, we have not seen a door like this before.
Yeah, and the red and brown motif reminds me very much of Ronka, but Ronka's not on the source.
It's not.
So-
It's not Ronkin at
No,
all. And the
no, it's
stuff
not.
that we have that's Ronkin on the source, it's completely different fundamentally, architecturally. No Ronkin association here.
Yeah, I'm just saying the colors remind me of Ronka, but this
Yeah.
is definitely
Well,
not Ronka.
They use a softer orange as well.
Okay.
So
Ah, you're right.
coloration, not too much either.
Right.
maybe
I
this
wanna
is
know
for
what this-
adds for a civilization we don't know in this case.
I want to know what
The
this thing in the
structure of
middle
the-
is.
Trying to think of
It's like they
something,
hooked Ozma's baby
It's
up
like-
to a controller.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
it-
for that thought.
It could be an ADS node that's off. I don't know.
It's a little shiny for that.
In which,
It
in
is.
which case it could be Allegan, but
We'll find
No.
out.
Yeah.
There's got to be room for new stuff too.
Yep. And so we know there were what 13 civilizations in the 5th era. So we know of like 4 or 5.
the statues are making me think, however, of the Lubrum Reginae, and that's Bolzia. So I don't. There's something about the structure that reminds me of Bolzia, and if we fucking get
This is my
Evilise in this
twink.
whole thing,
Yes.
I'm going to scream.
So
I need this man.
this is your evil twink here.
Yes, I got the tingly sensation I get when I know I'm going to love a character, and
Mhm.
y'all specifically know what that means for the story
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah. They're tormented, probably dying. But my take on what I saw and heard is we're finally going to get introduced to preservation in this patch, which tells me they're probably following the playbook from the Shadowbringers patches, which excites me a lot. Because that's when we got Elidibus, who is a very sympathetic antagonist.
We joked about this based off of just a visual the last time where we were calling him Nisahi.
Yeah.
And we're pretty sure that he's the one who's speaking here, and I'm like, well, I'm still gonna call him Nisahi until proved otherwise, because I've chosen the hill I'm going to die on, and it's
You know,
twink.
I like
know,
Nisahi. That's
yeah.
a great name.
So, Cobb, you mentioned the introduction of Elidibus and the patches of Shadowbringers. I agree with that. We are following the patches of Shadowbringers.
Yeah.
But I'm working a theory that we're going backwards. So, if Dontrell was, this is of course take it as a theory, but if Dontrell is equivalent to Shadowbringers in patch order, last patch 7.1 would have been Death unto Dawn, which thematically matches in certain aspects. If next one is following the trend, its futures are written, and that's the patch in which we're introduced to Fandaniel as Asahi, of course, but Fandaniel. So this connection you just made between the two is
Stop
quite
giving me
interesting.
hope, Meowth. I can't be known as the person who senses shards of Asahi. Do you know what that would do to my reputation?
It would solidify it.
and also
My
futures
reputation as a raider. Positivity. Beyond reproach. My reputation as a lore expert. Ether physics
also-
and Asahi.
and also futures were written, which is basically the cue they gave us in 7.1 with the memory alteration. and well,
So Aeneas.
and the raid, which is future written.
Mhm.
So I mean the ultimate. I mean, yeah. So it's a theory. Make of it what you will.
So if it is a shard of Asahi, I swear to God, I'm stripping you of your aetherology title, and it's going to be Asahiology.
No, because this one's like clearly an ether physicist who also does souls. Why can't it be both, Cobb? Don't do this to me.
Both is good.
Thank you, Yev.
I just stopped it here because I like the unicorn, and I really want to see the death of a unicorn movie.
Okay.
Is it? I mean, I don't think it's Beastmaster. Where the fuck are we getting Beastmaster? We know we are getting Beastmaster, but
Yeah.
Probably starting in point 3.
Yep.
Right.
This is more
Nymea.
of the
Yeah.
Nim shot that we
Shark.
had.
And we
Fucking
see
shark.
we see a very high up shot of this earlier on in the trailer. Where was it?
It's like the very, very beginning.
Yeah. Right there. This is that same location. It's just right here on this little platform.
Mm.
So we'll go
Yeah.
back. Yep. Which we have another shark back here. So this is, yeah. Here we have fake
This is
fake
Hypnosis
scene.
worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hypnosis' worst nightmare.
More me and Sean.
Yep. I love Sveen.
I love FF11 references in my FF14 trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yay!
one is
Okay, this is the point where
in
we
this
hear.
case?
This is the point where
I
we
feel-
start
I-
hearing Battle Theme 1 from Final Fantasy V, which got me so absolutely hyped. I'm really, really excited for Cosmic Exploration. And this is just throwing stuff out there. I would highly suggest, if anyone hasn't done it, do the Omega side quests from Endwalker.
I replayed that recently.
Do it again.
Aside from, no, I did it, and it's amusing to me because you know this question that Omega asks about who was the most justified of the three ancients, or whether Hades, Vena, or Hermes, or whether, and there's a whole reason on that. I did that for exercise like maybe 2 months ago, and yeah. One day maybe I speak about the whole reasoning and why I believe that there's a right answer. But anyways, moving on.
I'm curious about this glowing thing here. Is this a star? I don't know. This is just like, what is that type of thing? But this is Cosmic Exploration. This is my end game patch. This is what I'm excited for the most. And I'm really excited for Occult Crescent, so that's saying a lot. So I will be living here from April through whenever they decide to announce FanFest is. Because we're due for a FanFest this year, are we not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Theoretically.
technically,
Theoretically.
by the
I don't-
end of the year.
I don't think it's going to be in July, though. I think it's going to be later in the year, which I really, really hope it's not in October.
I suppose it will have to be after 7.4, more or less, because
No.
that's when they start teasing into
So
next expansion.
it always drops around 0.3 for
Really?
NA, yeah. So it's usually
That's-
right after 0.3 drops.
That's wrong.
It is?
Yeah, that's wrong. Because
What?
it's
I mean,
usually
I
after
think-
the last Savage tier.
Oh.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't
But
know.
I mean,
of
we have
0.4,
several months of leeway on that. I'm not gonna worry about it for now, especially for NA, because it's incredibly hard to host events in the country right now. So I'm
yeah,
not.
absolutely.
We'll figure it out when we hear about it. I'm not too concerned
you're right.
scheduling.
I was-
wise.
It's
Yeah. I
4
was just
point. It's
trying-
0.4 is usually when it is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
So we have some time.
It was I was thinking because 0.4 is like 0.3 is when we technically tend to wrap up the story of
Yeah.
the expansion we're in, and 0.4 is when we start going in towards the next expansion. And if they started teasing next expansion, it didn't just click on my brain. I was like, I think they always tease. They drop like I remember for Shadowbringers when they dropped the 0.4 the whole nuke about the coal and the science dropping like flies, and then that's what led to Shadowbringers trailer, which is the and yeah.
So we're looking.
That's
sorry,
why I
I'm
was
just
thinking 0.4.
I'm just trying to guess ahead, but we're looking at late July, early August for probably 7.3, and then
yeah, because we're on a 4-month patch cycle.
Yeah, 7.4 would be December. So we'd probably be seeing either a December or January Fan Fest. So it's going to be delayed for sure. Anyway, continuing on, cosmic exploration. Is that a structure? Is that a star? Like, that is just bothering me over here. I want to know what that is.
You'll find out. You'll find out, honey. Just give it a bit.
Are you sure it will be July? Because I'm thinking 4 months, and this is dropping late March.
Right, that's why I said.
If it's 4 months,
end of July, early August.
May... Right. Okay. Then I made a mess with numbers as usual. So sorry.
That's okay. So this gives me PTSD. This reminds me of the Mako from Mass Effect.
I haven't played, so.
It's a brick on wheels that handles like a washing machine full of bricks. This right here, the sparkliness, this reminds me of the Level Up Fates from Ishgardian Restoration. Do I think that since we... Okay, do we think since we started the moon that the Zodiac Aether is gone now?
I mean, we have confirmation of that already, so yes.
Yeah.
They will alter the map for that?
This looks like a different area, but we know that we're starting on the moon, so...
This is a completely
It'll probably
different
be
area.
like... Yeah. You're doing the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
Basically.
This is... I love the mammoths here from Island Sanctuary. I really hope they are as angry and as jaded as they were in Island Sanctuary, because that would make me really happy, because they just... They said everything I felt.
In before they finally unionized.
Yeah, right. Our mech, I'm very excited about that. This is one of the group events, obviously, and then of course as the base expands, gathering moon dust, I guess.
That's to spoil the moon. Why not? I mean...
Of course. To spoil the moon and
to spoil their planets as well.
Suck up all the aether, destroy all the natural life, turn it into something that'll generate money.
I love Final Fantasy VII.
Well, I mean, we're basically building Midgar here, so.
I'm aware. I am fully aware of that fact.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's not the best reference in terms of fuck,
So
I'm supposed to be raising that hair trigger. Here's my boy again.
My question is this, because I thought this when I saw the little, basically IV in their neck, but it could be an interface. My question is, do we think that your favorite new character is someone who is afflicted by lightning aether sickness?
I think it's something, but it's also worth noting that there's a lot of wiring involved, so it could also be a situation where, regardless of whether or not he has something going on, that he's hooked up to a system. Also, stay on this frame for a second, because I'm trying to find a screenshot, or at the very least, snapshot this, and we can go back to it. I can do that as well.
I mean, this looks like a diagram of a computer processor.
Yes.
And then we have
I'll expand on this when we get.
And we have this cube over here that we saw last time as well. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, he's just I feel like this is the person who's narrating the trailer as well, just
Agreed.
because the voice print of the dialogue matches someone of his build.
Yep.
Obviously, could be completely wrong about that. talked about how the trailers like to lie to us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It could be
But
someone that's not even in the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, but also I love the voice trailer. It's one of those like voices that I could listen to them monologue for hours and not get bored. Like
Yeah.
I would listen to an audiobook that was 16 hours long if it was
Right.
voiced by this person. So naturally I would want this character that I am intrigued by to be voiced by this smooth dulcet tone that I am also enamored by.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Aka the cat says,
Stop
you know, what
laughing at me.
what I find interesting about the patch on the neck, it reminds me of real life medicine when you have to have the port for medicine to traverse quickly to life essential organs. So like, a port. So basically you have to keep it clean so it's covered. And the jugular is one of the highest pressure veins, aside from the femoral artery. So if you need medicine that reaches fast, that's probably going to be the best way to do it, which is when I saw that, I thought the same thing and thought, is this person sick?
Yes. I mean, to me, it would track. And I don't know who was it, I don't actually remember who brought up in the server, in the Discord, that these may stem either from trying to achieve eternal life, from a desire of, or a wish to not be forgotten, or a matter of jealousy. I'm more inclined to believe it's jealousy because the point about not being forgotten, that was the ancients, that was in any case you would point perhaps at you would point at Hades, right? Which no longer is in that whole thing's no longer in the opposing side as where we stand now, but jealousy and these things of wanting to rise at the expense of others. But I believe it's the point of one of the points of where this arc is going. But we already had that in Dawntrail, in the term of, in order to self-preserve, the Endless have to eat the life force of other people and other worlds. So
right.
It's like it's instead of survival is the self-preservation and the jealousy and the greed to rise above the bones of others, if it makes sense.
So
apologies for the music if you hear anything. There's a band going right now.
I don't hear it. Literally can't hear it. I would say yes, there are very strong emotions. I don't get jealousy. I more get a defiant hatred, not towards a person, but towards death.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Because and that could come from any number of sources as well. So I don't want to speculate on any sort of illness or disability this person may have, because quite frankly, what matters is that they're plugged in to the system one way or another. And it will be interesting to see their motivation, because that's what makes a good character, but also in general, just like the implications that result thereof. I also finally found the fucking screenshot I was looking. It took 8 years, but here we go. Can I reorder this in the message? No, this is fine. I'll just pop this in live chat.
Okay. Let me.
And I'm gonna tag Arden and say nothing else.
Oh, I love that.
Ooh, what's this?
Hey, remember when you asked about Rakaznar?
Oh. So I'm gonna open this up.
And you read some things about some characters, Cobb, because I know you read my article on Emmett Selg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so there's a setting.
Harden said, "Oh God."
Oh God, yeah. I messaged Harden as soon as the trailer happened, because again, this bitch is quoting Aelden Arshan looking at Rakaznarian diagrams here.
Oh God,
which
yeah. This is
basically a gate to a place where death literally doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. This is kind of
Hey, I wonder
this is
what
kind of
preservation is.
undeniable. So I'm gonna just pop these in here real quick, so we can get some side by sides here.
It's not people panicking about Hades. How?
Wait, hold on. I don't think you've read my. I don't think I linked the article to you. Yeah, maybe I should have.
No.
I'll send this to you. You can read this when we finish the episode today. Otherwise, we'll get nowhere.
Oh, I see. So I'm on 2 different logins on these different browsers. So that's why that's not working. So give me just a sec.
I mean, naturally,
I feel like I've completely derailed this. I'm sorry.
No, this is good.
I saw this and I was like,
no
wonder I love this twink. This is my twink.
No, Ines, you didn't derail anything, because the other day when we were doing the tier list, Cobb and we discussed Dawntrail, I brought up the whole thing about Vanguard, which is a mix, as you guys, Arden and you, told us, that the gates are based on Rakasnar. And in fact, the gear that you get from the coffers from in Heritage Found is called Rakasnar gear.
Yep.
So I brought up that because the Vanguard is based on, like you guys mentioned, that the door structure is Rakasnar, while I brought up that the hallways and the design of Vanguard is made from the Palamecia, the airship in Final Fantasy XIII, which, by the way, Palamecia is a reference to Final Fantasy II, and the Pandemonium, as Palamecia is where the Empire, where Emperor Matthews rules, so mix that and all that. So, and I brought that up to Cobb, as you know, Rakasnar, according to Aeneas and Arden, is the place where FF11 Hades is sealed. And that's when Cobb was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Yeah, so it's, again, this is where the similarity to that comes in, because we don't see much of anything about this in the trailer, but it is undeniable that this is the key.
Oh yeah.
To this area.
Like
it's just it's so similar.
Going from here, and then the fact that we have Rakasnar or in Alexandria, and then this is Rakasnar from 11 right here.
And we've talked so much about what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to be dead? Rakasnar is like a court. It is a gateway, a transition to Tartarus, where death doesn't mean anything. Like, quite literally doesn't mean anything. It's a different kind of concept. It's what the Endless thought that they were.
And it's what the Void had.
It's what the Void had, but this is a mix of the two, where you could just exist beyond death. And there's ways to be corrupted by it, if you try to use it, aspect it. But if you don't aspect it, it's just not there. Like, you removed that physical property.
So do you think
aspecting it is the dangerous part?
Do you think we'll get a Tartarus name drop?
If we do, I think I might just combust. And I honestly hope that they don't, because they've been doing such a good job of like blending the ideas instead of making them one for one.
Right, which is what they should be doing.
Yeah, and again, this is also part of why I believe that the dialogue is coming from this man, is because he's talking about preservation and all of these things. Maybe he knows what preservation was perhaps modeled after.
Right.
But it's artificial, so it would never get there, right? Because this is something unknowable that the gate barely touches the surface of. I think I've killed Meowth. Are you okay over there?
No, I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read and go into the aspects of the exact aspect related to 11 that that you wrote in here, but I feel like I will have to pause and read.
So,
yeah, it's pretty long.
So
I just wanted to point this out.
Quick question in chat: what is this structure? Is it a gate? Is it an object? What is it?
So this is the doorway to Rakasnar.
Okay.
So if you go through here, you enter the outer court of Rakasnar, which will take you down to the inner court of Rakasnar, which is where you can enter Tartarus. And you barely scratch the surface of Tartarus, because down here is where they trapped several immortal beings, one of which is, I guess, spoilers for FF11, is Hades. And most of
Pink
Emmet
Horsefan, as you said.
Yeah, Pink Horsefan, because they used the character model for Hades in FF11, and they just dyed his hair blue, and that's Horsefan.
Wow.
In 14. It's, again, complete sidetrack, but they reused, like, the animations of attempting to kill him for Zephyr's spear, which actually kills Horsefan. Like, all of that is taken directly from there. Like, Emmett's sequences down to the gun, like, also comes from Hades here. Like, most of Emmett Selk is just from this area, which is very, very cool. It's also one of the queerest parts of FF11, which is really, really fun. So if you love a good queer story, highly recommend, like, the cutscenes from the last 20 minutes of this expansion,
Nice.
Seekers of Adeline. But yeah, this at the very least for me evokes the emotions of, again, grappling with the concept of death from a third perspective. So I hope that that's kind of where the story is going, because it feels like it's building up that way to having to answer the question definitively. Yeah.
I would
So,
love
anyway,
them
You,
trying.
I mean, I love it. Because you have the 11 you have the 11 perspective. I have the Fabula Nova Crystallis perspective, and it's not going to be a one-to-one to neither of them. But when you combine things, is when things like
the themes are there.
It's like fuck.
I know you and I keep geeking out over how they've been combining the themes for Dawn Trail, because another really good example is Zeralja's Arena, right? Because it blends elements from both titles so perfectly. And to answer the question, you don't actually see this door open because it's in the overworld, limited animation, so you just kind of click it and go in. But I imagine the cubes slide around a little.
Yeah. Yeah, I would
like they do
so.
in, like... I'm visualizing, like, the animation in the Horizon games when you go into, like, the pyramids in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of slide back and open that way.
Anyway, that's my spiel. that's why that was the thing in the trailer where I was like, wait a damn minute.
I love that.
One thing in the article that I read about the part of the myths regarding Hades and the whole thing with I was going to say with Persephone. I would make a note on that, but not right now. Just remind me. Make a mental note on that.
I will say we have about 15 minutes left, and we're not even halfway through the trailer. So
we have too much. We know too much.
We are going to continue talking about this next week. But here we have Mamook. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm excited to go back.
That blue mate. Fucking hell.
Nope.
I mean,
we're gonna be making some more
Hildebrand.
Yeah, we're going here for the Allied Society.
Hildebrand, yes.
Stoked for this.
Yeah, Hildebrand has a gun now.
Yeah.
Not sure how I feel about that, but it's there.
Have you done the story?
Yes, I just don't like Hildebrand quests. I'm sorry.
It's not for everyone. It's for most people.
How dare you?
Yeah, it's not for me. It's okay.
So here we have the area in front of the Arcadian on fire.
Once again, this poor city.
Yeah. Which we have, again, the enforcers shooting at people. So, yeah. Not good.
I'd also like to note, since we're going through this frame by frame, you can see, like, lightning striking certain people as well. Like, that's not a gun blast.
No, it's not. Thoughts on who this person is? Because they're trying to make it look like it's Sphene.
Yeah. I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah, and I mean, there is hair
They could
coming
be
down
lying
here.
to us.
So it's
Darn it,
possible.
what?
Yeah. It's like, this is my real name.
Sphene had a daughter.
Ugh, get out.
Stop it.
I felt
say,
Apollo
I would
smile
say
at me just
Down here.
I would say it's Sphene, but I'm not sure that's actually her real name.
It's like there's
an
clearly
interesting-
something malicious possessing her code.
Yeah.
Well, that's for sure, but
Right, but it's a lot of it is like, oh, Sven's here, and it's like, nope, that's just someone inside her body.
Mm-hmm.
That's more hard to know.
Here we have
PvP.
PvP
Hard to know.
update. Which I'm excited they're bringing back prior rewards because I did not get all the glams I wanted.
Oh, I missed that part of the live letter.
Yeah, their Seas is coming back. Is that the one hooked up to tubes or a completely different faction? I don't know. I'm assuming you're talking about the person on the cliff. But this hair, I don't know. I want to say it's Sven, but I know it's probably misdirection, but she's got some serious eyelash game.
I mean, it could be Sven.
It could
just
be.
That we also have to remember that the Sven we see is a fabrication. It's
Correct.
An
Also-
idealization. So we don't really know how the real Sven or the real person actually looks like.
Could also be getting flashbacks
Yeah.
as well. That is something that they've been utilizing a lot.
So we are underneath Everkeep here. This looks like the ground.
The under.
Yeah, so this is where the castle most likely is. The
I
original
see mist
castle of
and I don't
Alexandria.
like it.
Yeah, I know, right? So we'll see. Yeah, here we have the castle inside the underground area.
Yeah. Which we
There it
talked
is.
a lot about when we got
Mhm.
the first set of visuals from here as well. So
Yes.
I know we're strapped for time, so I'm like, hey, go back and watch that episode.
Yep.
Lots of fun FF9
No.
references still.
Yeah, but this thing is actually a mix of Alexandria Castle and the Desert Palace in 9. Because
Beatrix.
that boss is from...
Queen
That
Bee.
boss is from...
I wish she wasn't a robot, but I'll take it.
Yeah, we know.
Actually, do we want to save this Beatrix for next week? Because there's a lot to talk about there.
Yeah, we absolutely can. And here, Sven looking evil, of course.
Oops, sorry.
The standard evil grin animation that they use for...
So we'll talk about Beatrix next week, as well as some more stuff from
Yeah.
the live letter, because
So cool.
yeah.
I love the animation there, the particle
too.
effect.
I
Yeah,
love the
this is
roses.
roses.
The roses gets me. That's so
This
perfect.
is just me being a complete FF9 nerd. Like,
like
this is such a treat.
right here, like all these
Yeah.
The
rose
Rose
petals.
of May.
Yep.
It's
And
not just that. They're also making a really, really clever combination
I know.
of the Rose of May theme of Beatrix with Final Fantasy 13 and lightning and the,
This
and the
is-
roses.
A raid boss, it looks like they may be Morble, feralized.
It's a Morble and the other one, the Beast
Yeah.
of Burden with the
Yeah.
eye.
This is just gonna be like
This is our Pictomancer. I was right about that one. So she's the spray paint Pictomancer.
color vomit is gonna be this tier.
Obsessed with this boy.
Yes, the Gunpla fan.
Yeah. And then we're back to this twin.
Yeah. So here we have power going off in Solution 9, which I'm guessing is just going to be preservation saying, look, we control everything, literally. And it flips the switch and power is
Yeah.
gone.
There's also... there's... how should I put this?
This fight looks like so much fun.
The aggressive JoJo posing and like stomping with
I
the
love
snapping. Like, the raid 2 is just gonna be so much fun.
Oh, I agree. Especially because Brute Bomber's not gone. Here we have the
he's
Asm
there.
Crystal
He's with his cat boyfriend.
summoned for literally everything. We need ketchup. Use the Asm Crystal. I don't know if anyone saw that video that I made.
I have not, I'm sorry.
Meowth has. It's a short that I made like a year or two ago. It's on the
like,
LoreLines YouTube.
Look at the fucking, like, aggressive snapping of the
It's-
figure. There's the cube
It's
again.
so...
Yep.
Okay,
It's
this is
Michael
the part
Jackson.
that got me. Because
Yeah.
that's a powerful targeted blast at us. And we're talking about, like, as a fuckery with the crystal, even though, like, that is the standard, like, we're summoning stuff. This
Right.
is the part that scares me. 'cause
This
that's,
is... Yeah.
Yeah.
If they can unleash that inside the keep...
The fear
That's-
also here is because a lot of this is soul science. There is a chance of a forced rejoining happening
Yeah.
here because look at Wicklemont's expression.
So, My guess is they shut down the power to power whatever this weapon is. And
yeah, but
divert
there's
it
still
all.
light in the background here, so I don't know.
There is. But we
Yeah,
see
they
it
could
going
they
out.
could be moving it around.
So
yeah, we do
this-
see it going out, but
Yeah. And it doesn't have
The
to be
blast to the,
all the power. It could be a
the
portion of the
blast
city.
to the wall is making me think.
I love
Symbolically
this.
speaking,
This-
it's like this
so-
moment of. I don't know how to explain it. I know there's a theme in my head when I saw that scene,
I need to.
but I don't know how to. I don't know how
So-
to explain it.
Ayumi.
Yes.
For me, this is Fiend's auto-apocalypse moment. If anyone
Or
understands what I'm
Deus
talking
Ex
about.
Machina.
No. Where she's doing the auto pose here from Honkai Impact 3rd.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Just, I love the way that the cinema of this giving way.
It's absolute cinema.
I need to be him. I need to be him. This is gonna derail me.
I really hope he's one of the, I call them the lightning kids.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about eyelash game and hair.
Mhm.
Could be him.
It could be him. It very well could be him. Because Fiend's hair is very light, but the person's in the hood's hair is much darker.
And I
Or was it
also,
here.
yeah.
So
'Cause-
this
'cause
could
they
100.
They did this when they introduced Zero 2, is
Mhm.
playing around with more like androgynous character designs. Like the hair here could go either way, but the eyelash game, I'm just saying it's there.
Yeah. So this
Listen,
it could be.
I appreciate men with good eyelashes, so
Yeah. You heard that. You heard it here first, folks.
Shut up,
Ben,
Ellie.
You should. You
Clip.
should.
Hold on, let me clip that.
Hey, my
You should
eyelashes
do your
are
eyelash.
my eyelashes are phenomenal.
Are you gonna cosplay the Twink Cobb? Am I gonna have to fight you for this?
No, my shoulders are too broad to do twinks. I'm built like a linebacker, unfortunately.
listen, you can cosplay La Habrea fine, so that's fine.
yeah. I have very broad shoulders. Yeah, I could not pull this off.
I could.
You
It would
could
be so
though.
It would be so easy. It would take me the span of like an afternoon because I
Yeah.
could literally just
It's-
pin back my
that's a-
Noctis wig and do that.
That's a thrift store costume and a wig. Like you could do
I
that.
don't even know if I need to go to a thrift store. I think I could just pull random shit out of my
I
closet. And take
I have a
it to my
lab
bag.
coat and pens. Let's go.
Well, even like in this shot here, he's just got a shirt half off his shoulders.
Yeah, there you go.
Like,
He's going to the gym. If he can make it there. And that's it. Seekers of Eternity. There actually uniquely is not a post end of trailer dialogue.
Fucking colors chosen for that logo, my.
And it could,
Like,
I
it's
love how
not even-
sinister they make Sven look here.
No, but the color of the logo, it's like that's P12. That's P12. It's the exact same. Anyways,
Yeah. Not saying you're wrong. It's also
No,
Heidel
yeah,
and
but-
Zodiac though. It's same color scheme.
not really.
no, it's not.
No.
I mean,
the blue.
the blue
yes.
and purple.
The pink, no. No, it's
That's
pink.
pink.
Pink, Cobb. It's it's different.
That's not purple, honey.
It's purple to me.
Okay. Someone in chat is asking about a tattoo on his clavicle. I'm pretty sure that's just shading.
Yeah, I agree. That's just shading
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
not a tattoo. Yeah.
Ayumi. Fuck you.
Sullen handsome water ceiling cat. That's a name.
Good shit. It's gonna be a good patch. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Very
New
excited
raid
for this.
tier stuff for crafters and gatherers, and the story is so good.
Listen, Meowth, you have yourself to blame for creating quotes on stream.
Very true. So, I'm most
regardless-
excited for Occult Crescent
regardless,
and the Gathering stuff.
Just give me a moment. Ayumi, nothing will top the clip you made about the cowboy sex music. So
Oh my
deal
God.
with that.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna be
what?
silenced. You what?
The what?
Oh, you didn't see that? Oh, hold on,
Oh
let
my
me find it.
God.
We could do that after. I know we're running short on time for
I know.
today.
I'll find it for you.
Wow.
I was like, excuse me? I think the worst thing I've ever said on the stream is speaking of dragons.
Yeah. Kind of the same. Let's see.
I'll link it to you in Discord.
Sounds good.
Let me switch over to the account really quick. I'm trying to find this video really quick before we end. It's just a really short one. Because we're almost out of time. Here it is. It's 14 seconds. This was so during the Endwalker patches, I was getting really annoyed because they were consistently using the summoning stone, like constantly.
Right.
And I just got annoyed by that. So I was like, man, they're using this so much
Okay.
that I made this video as a response to that. Where is the frame? Wow, I can't find the...
Continue being the
Scene.
star of our channel, Meowth.
Yes. You're a mascot. You know that, right? Alright, let me go back to
Well,
this.
I suppose I'm rolling with it right now.
As you should. As you should. Let me just make sure that...
Can you please not put this guy in front of my face?
Oh, don't worry, don't worry.
It's okay. You don't just minimize it and go look
I
at your
did
clip.
see this.
That's it.
Yep.
No, you can't have ketchup. Please don't use it. So anyway, that is our episode for today. We'll talk more about the live letter in depth next week. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much it for the trailers. A lot to look forward to, a lot to be excited about. Hey Tetsu, how are you? But yeah, does anyone want to say anything before we close out for today?
Now I've got a heap of things to read thanks to Ina, so...
Yes, a lot of Rakaznar stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's mostly as it relates to Emmett Selk, which, oh no, Meowth has to read about Emmett Selk.
Oh no.
But
Don't worry about that. I
I know you
I-
love that. But
I
the
enjoy
last
doing that.
section is specifically like aspects of FF11 that are relevant to him.
Right.
However, it is like going into some of the Rakaznar stuff as well, because that is where
Right.
he ended up making his home. So
right.
Super excited.
I mean, you give me the 11 context. In turn, I could give you the 13 context.
I mean, this is our handshake agreement. Together we sound sane because we keep each other in check. So, and can I drop the link in chat for anyone else who may be curious?
Absolutely.
Just if y'all want to read how deranged I am
Yep.
as well.
Drop the link, and I might turn it into
I
a
was-
video with your permission.
We can talk about
I
that
was,
later.
Okay.
I was working on my script on him as well, so maybe
Yeah.
I mean that doesn't have to be a fight, but we could be a collaboration, in fact.
Yeah. So
Either
we'll
way.
talk about it later. But either way, yep, there's your little info dump for
Love
today.
it. Yes, check it out. It's good stuff. And also, do you want to link your 11 guide?
Yeah, it's on the same site actually. 'Cause
perfect.
this is my little publication, so I can just link it in general. So if you want to, I'm running my own publication about lore stuff now. all things Final Fantasy. Heavy focus on 14 and 11, of course. But just other stuff in general, because I've got, like, something in the works about how FF8 is inherently trans, and, like, just other fun things. So everything Final Fantasy, it's going on here now.
Love it, love it. All right, well, the patch will drop on the 25th, I believe.
Correct.
Yes, and then so I'll be playing it on the 25th. Very excited for that, and I'll record my run, but I'm not going to stream it. But this Tuesday, I will be streaming more Star Rail, so hopefully catching up.
I will likely stream it myself in my personal Twitch, though.
Okay, good deal. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again next time. Have a good one.
Have a good week.
See you.